Hello there. I hope you have a drink and something to snack on. Allow yourself to block out your surroundings and tap into our conversation. You are listening to the Safe Room Podcast with yours truly, Sean Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Safe Room Podcast. I'm your host, the President Sean Williams. We're back here with another episode, and today I have a very special guest. This is someone I got to see perform early last year, and ever since then, he was on my radar. I had to get him for the podcast, and listen, this guy right here, this gentleman right here, hip-hop fanatic, MC, producer, dancer, he has it all there, man. I see him with the sneaker connection, so I know he didn't come to play in the background. Maybe he's a behind-the-scenes sneakerhead. Who knows? But this is someone that is making moves in the Toronto scene. He had a couple of good hits last year, concluding his single Bounce with EverythingOShauN. I have that song on repeat 24/7.
Yes,
and listen, if you must know, he's sorry, not sorry. You get me? If you get me, you get me. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the wonderful, talented, sorry, my boy. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Now that you're here, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic.
I'm happy I can add to that.
All right, bro. So like I mentioned, I saw you last year, and it was at the Rise Edutainment Showcase. You opened up, and I remember just your energy off the bat. Because I think, I don't know, it was the first song you performed. Was it Pop Out, I think?
No, it was Introvert.
Introvert, yes. But like off the jump, I was like connecting with you. And like obviously there was like lots of people there. It's like it's in a club setting, it's dark, but everyone's trying to get into the mood. I'm like, nah, like who is this guy? He's nice.
Respect, man.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been doing so much across the city, and it's great to see someone like yourself, a young, talented Black man, just like going out there, putting your heart and soul into the music, into the production, into everything. I think that's really inspirational, even for me. I know I'm not a musician or an artist, but I always try my best to bring other artists on the podcast. I know everyone assumes that when I say this is a safe space for entrepreneurs and business owners, they're thinking like, oh, so you got to be a business owner. Like, nah, if you have something you want to share, even if you're an artist, like you come on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited to have this conversation with you, but maybe just let's share to everyone again, reintroduce yourself, what you're all about.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I'm sorry, SRE, Starbucks barista calls me Stray. Apple knows me as Siri. And I'm a producer, dancer, songwriter, rapper, singer, and all that good stuff.
You have a lot of hats, which is very, very impressive. So we're going to get into your artistic journey, just what's up next for you, because I know, again, you're very busy, especially for 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we're going to get into all of that.
Yeah, man. I'll Very, man, very.
So we're definitely going to get into all the deep information around that. But before we get into all the main questions, we have to start with our hot seat segment. So this is just four simple questions. Don't even worry about it, bro. Like, it's not as crazy as most people think when they hear the name hot seat.
Yeah, hot seat. I'm like, all right, let's go.
All right, perfect. So the first question I want to ask, so outside the work that you do as an artist, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Tell you something about myself in one sentence. Outside of the work that I do?
Yeah.
I'm a nonstop creative who has a mind to continue elevating and bettering himself.
I like that.
And that can include in all aspects of my life.
I love that. That's a really good answer. I can tell you're a creative person as well. I think, again, like I mentioned, the energy that you give, it's very loving, very bright as well. And you're definitely someone who likes to, test out new things, whether it's within just yourself, just how you interact with people. I know from the first time we connected online, I didn't feel this, oh man, I don't know how to like address him. Like, what's the reaction?
Yeah. People say I'm intimidating. I'm just like, nah, man. You just talk to me. Like, even if you're not a talker, like I'll spark up some conversation or topic. You may be wearing something that like I don't got on. I'll be like, where'd you get that from? So,
are you one of those people who rambles? Because I know some people say I'm the type of person to like ramble a lot when it's in terms of a conversation.
I used to because I feel like I have so much to say, and sometimes it gets lost where like I jump from one topic to the next. So in conversation, I'm learning how to like dive back and just like relax about what I'm trying to say. And just like if you ask me a question, I go to that topic and then I put like a little example in there, but then also just to keep the conversation back and forth because I don't want to make it all about me. Like I want to know about the other person as well too.
Yeah, I totally feel you. It's good to just like peel back sometimes. Like, let me not just hog the mic or just hog the entire talk. Let me allow this
Yeah.
person to step in and just kind of say what he needs to
Hmm.
say.
Yeah, right. Exactly what it is.
I feel you. I feel you. Okay, so the next question that I have, and this one's pretty interesting. If you
Mhm.
could pick one artist to collaborate with on a song together, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know if anyone's familiar with this artist, but it'd probably be this artist named John Keith.
Okay.
I don't think anyone knows, but if you know John Keith, you know what John Keith is about. He's based out in San Diego,
Mm-hmm.
California. So that's one person. That's one of the many people on my radar that I would look forward to collaborate with.
Yeah. Okay. I respect that answer too, because like I know a lot of people would assume like, okay, probably I should pick like a mainstream star, but for you, it's
Like don't get me wrong, like obviously like I do have like mainstream stars like on my list, but like we talking about like the next collab or like future, like
it could be next or future, or if let's say right now you had the chance to like work with this one person. Let's say like you're in your room right now, and then like they walked into the room, and you're just like, hey yo, you want to work on a song together? Like let's collab. Like
it'd probably be Cole
okay.
because his pen is strong, and I feel as if my pen is strong too. Cause and sword sharpens swords, so I feel like I would love to get into like a bar for bar with Cole for sure.
I think that would be like super electric as well. Yeah, you
Yeah.
might have to create like a Friday Night Lights type of vibe.
Well, it's call it Saturday night evening.
Yeah. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. But you said the guy you want to work with is John Keats. So like, what type of music does he kind of indulge in, or like, what is his sound about?
John Keith is a Christian. He's an artist from San Diego. He's R&B, he's pop, he's hip hop, he's like synth wave. He's like I feel like he touches a lot of genres. I feel like the only genres I haven't hear him do is like drill or like Afrobeat or anything like that. But like I feel like he's able to explore those genres just because of how great he is as an artist and also as an individual. So I feel like that's something that I'll be looking forward to do, just exploring creatively with him.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And if that ever happens, I mean, just
It
know that
will.
yeah, it
It
will.
will.
He's like, it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I love it. I no, I love the determination of that.
We don't say, oh, maybe if no, it will. And the more you put it out there, the energy you put out, it'll come back to you. So
Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, so the third question I have, an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
an interesting fact. I don't know. I don't want to say there's a lot because then people are just gonna like bombard me with questions. An interesting fact. I was 99% when I was younger, I was selected to be in a Huggies commercial.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't know. Like I was close, but then something happened in between. I missed my slot. I didn't make it there in time, and then yeah, they're looking for the baby with like the most laugh, and
Okay.
I won. So I missed my slot though. So
Oh no.
I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back. Not with Huggies, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, damn. It makes me think now, like, what would have happened if you landed that commercial? Do you think that just the trajectory of just your whole life, like maybe I didn't get into music, maybe it was like doing commercials or like voice acting or whatever that may be. You think that might have been like a paradigm shift?
I think so, but I don't even know if music would still be in play, to be honest. Just because I like honestly I thought my whole life I was just gonna be a dancer and just do backup dancing for like big artists. But then music just hopped into my life randomly just by motivation from friends and everything. So I'm just like, why not give that a shot? But like it is on my goal list to like do acting again, go into voiceover and everything. So I've not left that stone unturned. So I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, I do find it interesting, especially how you explained the whole huggy situation, like the best smile. I can tell, like you have an infectious smile, like already.
I
So, like,
appreciate it. It's funny too because the name Isaac means to laugh,
mm,
right? So yeah,
yeah, I definitely see that. So, yeah, that is an interesting fact. Okay, moving on to the final question for this hot seat segment. What is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space? It could be physical or mental that allows you to be you, allows you to be authentic.
I feel like I have three, and the first one is critical is my surrounding, the people that I surround myself with, because I feel like I can't authentically be my whole self without feeling like I have to shift my energy and be someone that I'm not. My second would be my room. Like once that door closes, I am like I'm locked in. Like I'm my whole self. I'm talking to myself. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And third, it would definitely be the whip.
Mm,
My car for sure would be one because like anyone that knows me knows that every time they go for a drive with Sorry, it's always a safe space and everyone's just like opening up. I'm opening up, they're opening up. So everyone's just feeling their true authentic self. So I feel like those are my top three. It will be my surrounding, my room, and my car.
I like that. I like how you had like a top three. Most people who come on the show, they usually have just one. They may have a couple, but for you, you kind of have a distinct top three that allows you to be your best self, which I think is really great.
Exactly. I mean, I do have more, but like those are like my top where like I know that if anything would I would have feel a certain way, I can just go to any of those three and it wouldn't fail me. So
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so now that we finished up the hot seat segment, we can get into the main conversation. So, obviously, I mean, we've kind of touched upon like music, and I want to kind of extend onto that. So,
mhm.
sorry, I want to ask you, what made you get into music in the first place? Because you did mention you were looking to be a dancer, and all of a sudden, music just kind of came in the way, and it's just I guess we're doing this now, and I feel like for people who may not know you as like deeply to maybe like your friends and like maybe your family, they kind of recognize you as the musician, like the rapper you are. So like, how did that journey get started? How did it happen where I went from dancing to now I'm doing the music side things?
So it sparked a little bit in high school where my friend and I would like just put on random YouTube beats on in the car and just freestyle. And we were bad. Like it was awful. It was horrible. But the more we did it, and thank God for him as well too. Like the more he did it, shout out to my close friend Zandy. He was like my cheerleader, saying like, "Yo, you can actually do this." And I'm like, no. So then there's a time where I started working at a restaurant, and then I would just be like humming stuff and whatever, and then they would know me for like freestyling as well too. So they'd be like, "Oh, like freestyle about what you're cooking." So then when I used to work at Moxie's at Scarborough Town Center, I'll just be cooking and I'll be putting like naming the ingredients I'm putting in and then the final dish. And then they're like, "Yo, you should really like try rapping." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." That was the second time. The third time now was when COVID hit. The whole city was on lockdown and dance studios aren't open. I can't do anything. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me actually try this rapping. Let me just see where I can take this. And man, did God take me to places I did not know I could take it, bro. That was like literally the shooting point where like I locked myself in my room for like a whole summer. And I know summertime is like tempting for people to like get out there. But like I would always wake up, open my curtain and be like, all right, back to work. And like just lock in because I feel like once I love something is like I'm like attached to it and I can't let go of it. And like I just always want to become better. So that was my goal to just become better. And like that's how music just started to arise from there.
I think that's honestly one of the most genuine stories I've heard in a while, which I love. The fact that again, it started off with you doing like freestyles with like your homies, and like I remember going to high school and like you'd always see like the guys in the corner, they'll be like
Yeah,
doing the beats or like the rap battles and
it's those
everything.
guys with the
Yeah.
pens, and then with pen tapping or someone was beatboxing. I even tried it out for I think it was my grade 11 or grade 12 talent show, and like everyone was freestyling and then I was there. The bars were good, but I was too nervous. I didn't have the confidence to like actually say it because dancing is different. It's easy. But now I have to like speak. I have to rap to you guys. You have to listen to me. I mean, that's how it works, but it's like that was like very nerve-wracking for me, but I'm happy I went through all these different stages that literally said like you're about to do music. You just don't know it yet. So,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. And like again, like you mentioned, the third time around was within the pandemic. And I know a lot of people feel like the pandemic was just a bad time, but I think I'm probably one of the more like rare or unpopular opinions where I think the pandemic was kind of a blessing in
No,
disguise.
definitely was. It definitely was. I agree with that. And like, my condolences to those people that lost, a loved one and everything like that. But personally for me and even like my close friends, like it did suck, but you have to be able to make the best out of what you have. Like for me, like I'm very antsy and it's like I always need to be doing something. I don't know how to relax sometimes. So I'm just like I'm not going to be sitting here forever. I don't know how long this is going to last. I need to do something. So I really feel like if it wasn't for this lockdown, I wouldn't have picked up the microphone. I wouldn't have invested so much into equipment and build my room studio and just lock in and just put my whole self in it.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I completely second that because it's the same situation for me. I mean, I started this podcast at the beginning of the pandemic. If it wasn't for that pause, I don't think I have this microphone. I don't think I'll be here having this conversation with you. So, I mean, like,
Right.
everyone was like impacted. And again, like you mentioned, for the people who did lose, like family members and like friends, obviously, it was a tough time. But even for me personally, it actually gave me to just appreciate everything that I had at the moment. Just like, podcasting fell right into my lap. And, here we are having these conversations, talking to different people that I've met over the past couple of years, which has been an amazing experience. And even having you today, like that would have never happened if it wasn't for the events of 2020.
Right. It's refreshing to hear that too, to know that like even though like yes, the pandemic sucked, but like people are grateful for it because it's like we're able to not only explore different creatives, but also get to know ourselves more when we're like locked away from the world. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was definitely a blessing in disguise.
Definitely, definitely. A follow-up question I want to ask you. So obviously when you finally had that click and it's like, okay, I think I should probably get into music, and you started going over the summer, spend the time to just write, really get your penmanship up. How was that process? Because I know usually when it comes to like, okay, I'm ready to like do this for real now, you're telling
Yeah,
yourself like, oh, I'm about to have like the penmanship of a Nas, of a Jay-Z off the rip, and then you realize, oh wait, it's actually harder than I thought. Like, how
yeah.
how was it for you going into it, and then gradually over through time? Like, what were some of the lessons that you learned that allowed you to not be just a better rapper in your own craft, but just be like a better individual as well?
Consistency. Straight like that. Consistency. You can take breaks, but you can't stop. Because it's just like when you're studying for an exam or when you're in the gym, like getting your shots in. And then when it comes time to perform, when it comes time to take that test, when it comes time to play that game, what you've done behind closed doors will show in hindsight. It will show in like in the eyes of everyone. So I still feel like even though like yes, my pen is good, but it's not great. And I don't know, people can say like, oh no, like I love what you're saying, this and that. Like you're like I can't you blew my mind when you said it. I'm just like, okay. But now that I've reached that level, I need to get to another level. Because it's like you can only get better the more you stick at something. So I believe that consistency was definitely helping me when I set schedules for myself to write, to do my vocal skills. Shout out to my friends who like be pushing me to do my vocal skills as well too, to get up there, to film content, whether it's to make beats or just try something out of the ordinary that you haven't done. I feel like consistency will take you a long way if you continue to progress without quitting.
Yeah.
So again, like, take care of yourself, take breaks, but don't quit, and stay consistent. Stay consistent in something. If you're like, oh, maybe I don't feel like writing today, hit the gym. Maybe you feel inspired after you hit the gym. Go for a walk, because sometimes we just sit in this one spot all the time, all day, every day, and we're at a stump. Like, we can't do anything. So yeah, I can go off about consistency because it has taught me a lot.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, man. Consistency is one of those things where, like, it's crucial, it's essential. At the same thing, it's like the hardest aspect
It
of
is.
any work to like really understand. I would even say like master, because I feel like even when you tell yourself I'm consistent, all
Hmm.
it takes is like that one moment, and then all of a
Right.
sudden you start to fall into that level of inconsistency. So I think it's just understanding that, again, like, if I can't do everything of one task, then I'll just do something. It's better than
Right.
nothing. Or like you mentioned, if I'm not in the mood to work on this today, maybe I'll try something different, and maybe it'll get me motivated
Hmm.
to work on the task I was supposed to do. So I definitely agree with everything what you're saying. And you mentioned the support you have from your friends. I think having a good inner circle or a group of people that support the stuff that you're doing, I think it enhances you to do more consistent things in the work that you're doing.
Definitely.
If you have people that are just kind of like, yeah, he's doing his thing, like, yeah, I'll leave him at B, he's fine,
Yeah.
sometimes we need people like to be like, yo, like, big me up, bro, like, big me up. I need some love.
Yeah, like, and like for me, it's like I don't really ask for it sometimes too, because, well, majority of the times I don't ask for it just because I have to find that within myself. Because if I keep looking for it, I can't keep depending on people. That's what it is. I can't depend on people to always big me up. I have to know for myself, my confidence, my self confidence has to be there where it's just like, yeah, I got this. But then again, sometimes we could, like, we get so clouded in everything that we're doing that we forget who we are sometimes. And it's just that one person out of nowhere that just comes in and, like, just says, yo, I just want to let you know, like, you got this. Like, I'll be hitting up Oshan sometimes for nothing. I just be saying, yo, leaving a voice on saying, like, yo, you got this. You're that guy. Don't ever. I know it's hard right now, and I know you haven't responded back to my last message like 2 weeks ago. But just know that, like, I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing. My friends, I motivate them. My family, I motivate them, because you don't know who needs it. So, especially, like, they may have the confidence there, or like they may feel like some may feel on top of the world when I send it. Some probably don't. I just gotta make sure that I keep myself in check. I keep my loved ones at check, and it's just like reciprocation thing where, like, they do the same thing to me as well too, without even asking. Because we just, I don't know, you just got to. The world needs love, bro.
I mean, enough said. The world needs love. I definitely agree on that. Like you mentioned, like, you have to big up yourself first. I feel like if you're looking for people to big you up, then it's gonna be a long journey. Because I know for
Yeah.
you and I, when we got started, I guarantee there's at one point we didn't have people bigging us up. We had to
Nope.
just figure out for ourselves. And then people, when they see the stuff you're doing, eventually the people who are supporting you, they're coming to you. You're not chasing for that type of support. They're coming to you for that support because they see the work that you're doing, the consistency and the work ethic.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. So the next question I have, so a lot of artists, whether they're starting right now or have been doing this for a while now, they're always trying to get support. And for some of them, they feel like it's a little bit difficult because obviously you want to have the right connections and the right resources. So for you, I want to ask, like, what were some of the avenues that you found helpful in getting to a point of your career where you say, okay, I have a good amount of people I can reach out to, whether it's like for studio time, or let's say I'm trying to like get to like different venues. I'm trying to get myself booked, or like maybe if I get into this event, maybe I can get in talks with the right people. And obviously, you mentioned your friends. That was definitely, a starting ground for you just to get that studio time. Like, hey, like you need to go in the studio and like record more. So, like, what were some other things that allowed you to like grow in terms of like resources or connections that helped you?
From the top of my head, I would have to say like organizations such as Factor. Factor is a grant funded organization. And if you're looking to produce a body of work or a song, like they give you free money to do that. Cause I know sometimes music can be a financial burden sometimes, but like that's where Factor comes in. They're able to help, right? So Factor, so can other avenues I know as well. Vibe Arts, Rise Edutainment, Unity. Oh man, I hope I'm not forgetting any. Those are like the top three that like come to my head. But I know if I go back and look at this, they're gonna be like, "Wow, you didn't shout us out." I'm gonna be like, "Oh my gosh." But yeah, from the top of my head, I know I've been in those environments where they have definitely pushed me to become the best artist they know I can be. Like with Vibe, it'll be like doing workshops, installation arts, Rise Edutainment. I was a part of their Lights Camera Action program. And with that, doing that led me, well, before that it was open mics. And then the open mics led me to sign up to the Lights Camera Action program. Then after that, just being connected to people, and shout out Randall for that too, gives me the opportunity to perform at a place such like Lee's Palace. And like I did not know that I was even gonna be a part of that. So being connected and talking and getting to know people and doing that as well too. I just advise everyone to just go look up these organizations, look up Factor, studios as well too. Like you gotta be in these certain rooms. Be cave, huh? I know, I know they're gonna attack me on that. Bee Cave is definitely one. They have songwriting camps that you can go to, and like they have a fee that you pay for, and then once you're in for like the whole weekend, and you're meeting other artists, collaboration. Like is great. Toronto rap stars, great people. Yeah, those are the from the top of my head right now. This is gonna keep coming in, but yeah, those would be some.
That's good. Like I said, there is a lot, so I understand if there's a couple that are just not clicking right now. But like you
Yeah.
mentioned, there's a lot of resources, and if I could, like, there's so many aspects to again finding those connections and those resources are so valuable for a lot of artists and musicians. But there's also like entrepreneurial traits that kind of come into that, whether it's like networking. So go into those events or get into those rooms knowing what you want to say to those people. I know that's probably a crucial thing. So like for yourself, when you are in those rooms where you're able to kind of share a little bit more like, okay, this is the music I create. This is what I'm trying to, bring to the music scene here in Toronto. Like, how do you feel like in terms of like your level of confidence? Do you feel like it's like natural for you to kind of go in there, whether it was at an earlier stage of your music career or even now to kind of explain what you're doing? Do you feel like once in a while it's like I don't know what I'm gonna say to this producer, to this person, because like I need to just get a vibe check about everything. Like, how would you explain it?
Well, definitely, I would like feel out the environment first, like the vibe, and because some people just don't want to either talk about it or be about it, right? But if I'm in these environment, I always have something prepped behind. Where it's like, if I'm with a producer, I already have playlists that draws my attention, and I would like to try something like that. Like you could have contemporary jazz, you can have alternative rock, you could have the simple hip hop, trap, R&B, trap soul, and everything like that. So I would have examples of other people's work that I would like to incorporate in terms of explaining to people of what I'm trying to do and where I want to go. I would show them work that I've done previously, stuff that has worked, stuff that has not worked, and stuff that is currently working right now, and where I would like to take myself like 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. It's definitely thinking ahead before you enter those rooms and those conversations, because again, you have to be prepped and ready, right? You have to be prepared to know who you're talking to, who you're going to speak to. But sometimes we don't even know who we're going to talk to or even converse with. So just having those back pocket information about yourself, and just again, it's getting to know who you are as well too. Because you don't want to be like, yeah, I want to go on stage, I want to have dreads, I want to have Crocs on my feet, I want to have high socks, and I just want to have a microphone and a mic stand. And then you're gonna be like, so you want to be J. Cole? Like, what what you trying to do, right? So having your own vision, it's and there's nothing wrong with taking something from another artist. They say good artists take, but great artists steal. So there's nothing wrong with taking or stealing, depending where you want to go, and incorporating within your own art. But you have to know who you are at the end of the day, because that's when your truth will comes out, and that's when you're able to have a better understanding of what you want to do, how you want to do it, and where you want to go with it.
Definitely, definitely. Again, like you said, it's so important that you understand yourself when going to these rooms. It's like you're so fixated maybe on I want to meet the person, just get to talk to them, but then they ask you what do you do, and you're just blanking out for 10 seconds, like,
Oh,
oh,
but especially when you do so much for yourself too. Just because I feel like I'm at the early stages of my career, where like I feel like I'm juggling so much. Like, what do you do? I go, oh man, where do you want me to begin? I do this, right? So it's like keeping it concise, and then letting more information flow as the conversation continues.
definitely. Okay, so the next question I have, and I feel like it's going to be a continuation off of the previous conversation. How do you continue to have a strong growth mindset when it comes to writing and performing your music? Because obviously, some people will hit a stage, some artists will hit a stage where they're writing and they're thinking to themselves, I don't know, am I getting better as a writer? Do I feel like I'm
Mhm.
conveying my message to the audience that I want to connect with? And even sometimes your audience will say, like, you should write this. I know you say you're kind of in this niche of like music, like you should go into this genre, you should do into that. So like sometimes it kind of clouds our way of thinking, like, well, should I do this? Should I listen to my audience, or should I stay confident what I'm doing? Like you're kind of between a rock and a hard place. So for you, how do you continue to have a strong growth mindset where you're able to kind of just be like in unison with your writing and also with your thoughts when it comes to your music career?
So, from the top of my head, I would say there's two things that stand out to me: the love you had for it at the beginning and your why. So, if I'm partaking in like a writing camp, or I'm trying to create something and I'm stressed out, I feel like, yes, I want it to become the best art as possible, but I can't stress myself over it. And then when I get too stressed, I don't bother. You know what I mean? So I always look back as like, why did like, well, that's the second part. It's like my love for it is like what made me love doing what I did before. Like what made me get up in the morning, what made me have sleepless nights, what made me sometimes shed tears because I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is right. Or like stress out on demos that I think was good enough, but takes me a year to like finish. So I would have to say like your love for what you're doing and your why is just like, why are you doing it? What is your main reason? Because and that was something that I've learned definitely when I was like starting as well too. I'd watch so many interviews, and it'll just be like on your why, like what is your angle, what is your purpose for it. And I've seen, and like I've heard people say like, I want the cars, I want the money, I want the women, I want this, I want that. And it's like that is going to be there, but it's like, what are you going to hold on to when you get there? Like what's going to make you keep going? Because like there's, I don't know, it's just a lot that's out there that people can just hold on to, but it's not, they're not able to grasp it. But a strong one for me would be your why. Like, why are you doing this, and what made you fall in love with it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be my why and my what. That's basically the two. So because there's times where like I do feel like I stress out when I am creating, and it takes a toll on me sometimes. Where I'm just like, bro, I don't even know, bro. Only because I want it to be the best possible song track list, album, EP, music video, whatever, performance out there. And it just takes a toll because I know where I'm at right now and I may not have the funds to get there, but I see the vision. But I need to focus on this right now, which reverts me back to why do I like what made me fall in love in doing this and why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? Right. So that would be something. I know that was a long answer. This is what I mean by babbling, you know what I mean? But that would definitely be something that keeps me mindful of why and what am I doing this for?
Totally agree. And dude, don't even worry about if you feel like you went too long on a tangent. I feel like everyone on the show does that, including myself. So like
Yeah.
there's that moment we just need to like let everything out.
Yeah, it's oh man. It's just I'm very passionate about the work I create and my art as I feel any artist should be. And it's just like getting into the topic of it just makes me like again, it reminds me of my what and why I'm doing this. So sometimes these conversations like keep me in check and it's just reminders to me as well too.
That's good. And like again, you mentioned the why. I feel like that's like opening Pandora's box. It's like one of those like I don't know, because like even for me, it's so hard to identify like my why, but at the same time, I know exactly what my why is. Because when people ask you like, okay, Sean, like what's your why? Create a safe space for people, this and that. But it's like
Mhm.
nah, but like, do you really believe what you're saying? And like that hit me in
Mhm.
the chest one time. I'm like, shit, I don't even
Ooh.
know. So like it made me have to reflect, and then I really thought to myself like, what is my why? And it is, I want to support people,
Yeah.
simply put. And like that may sound vague, cliche, but there's no other way I can explain it. Ever since like I was born and I had the chance to help people or support people, that's always been my MO. I
Yeah.
feel like that's literally God's mission statement for me. Like you
Mhm.
are here on this earth to help people and support people. You may not
And
know
to
how
love.
it will look like at the time
Yeah.
being, but you will. And I feel like this podcast is my way of bringing that support to people, whether it's given a stage to talk about themselves, to share their stories, to you know, give their flowers and roses on what they're doing. So I feel like that if people ask me what's my why, it's like it's to support people. It's plain and
Mhm.
simple.
Yeah, and even makes it easier too for you to remember when you write it down. Like just write it down because like you yeah, not only is your body like physically like jot is like scribbling down the thought, but your eyes are seeing what you're writing down as well too. So yeah, I would encourage anyone to just write. The phones
Yeah.
can do so much, but when you're actually putting in the work in the wrist, then you'll know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Speaking of writing, I want to actually get to our activity portion of everything. So obviously we don't worry. I feel like you got this. Don't
All
worry.
right, all right.
Yeah, so we were talking about writing and making sure that your verses are well. So I kind of want to do an activity where for people, for musicians specifically who may have that difficulty of like writing a good verse. And this doesn't even have to be in like the rap genre, the category. You could be someone who's like R&B, contemporary, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, jazz, depending on his. Maybe it's just writing something down, like just a verse, a passage that
Yeah.
allows you to like, okay, you feel like you're in a good comfort zone. You
Mhm.
know exactly how you want to go with this. Again, obviously, when it comes to lyrics are never final. There are times you might have to do modifications, but at least
Yeah, of course.
off the rip, like
Yeah.
hopefully this activity you can share a little bit of like different tips or things that you do that could motivate someone. I'm not saying the tips that you're sharing have to relate to another individual, or you saying that you need to follow these tips specifically, because obviously everyone's different, everyone has like their own unique process. But
Mhm.
maybe you can share a little bit of your elements, some of the things that you usually do that help you to write your verses, your chorus, just get your words on a piece of paper.
Mhm. So it depends on which way we're going. Like, is it like, are you just you want to write because you want to write, or are you doing it because like there's a beat involved? Obviously, well, yeah, there's a beat involved, but
I
you
think
know what I mean?
honestly, like probably without the beat, because like you said, like you write
Yeah.
because you write. And like obviously
Yeah.
if it's a beat, it's like now because like okay, like what genre are we
Yeah, now
talking
there's
to?
feelings attached to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. So wait, so what are we doing right now? So like am I just giving tips or
Yeah, like giving tips. I mean, I don't know if you have a verse on standby that you want to share and kind of break down with everyone. I mean, I don't want you to go that far or anything like that.
yeah, gonna go from the safe place to like to a whole genius breakdown. But yeah, some tips I would give is just I'm heavy on speaking your truth. So whatever that looks like, the first thing that comes to mind, I really try not to overthink what I'm gonna put down. So let's say if like I'm on a podcast right now and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat, I could literally put that in the first line with saying like podcast with Sean, wondering what I'm craving. And then now that I have that down, it's like, am I going, and I'm thinking about the pattern, am I going to another pattern or am I going to follow something? But sometimes I just free write. So some tips I'll just say like is don't overthink what you're writing. Just write freely, be in your safe place if that helps you write more. And when it comes to your emotions, I just say hum. You don't know what you're humming, but sometimes the greatest things that are said is when we like hum from like pain, from happiness, or like what do you do when you eat good food for the first time that you haven't had? You go, or like when it's cold, you go, "Grrr," or like, you know what I mean? If someone smacks you, you go, you know what I mean? So the emotion behind it as well too. So like I'll say for your verse, deliver your message. How are you feeling? Is there a way that you can incorporate your five senses in there? What do you see? What do you smell? Are you hearing something? What do you feel? And does it leave a bad taste or whatever? So like being very, I mean, you don't have to be very with that, but like you can be creative in that part, but make your verse your message. Chorus, what is something that stands out to you the most? So it's like if I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat after this, the chorus could literally be like, I want a burger, I want some fries, I wanna McDonald's side of apple pie. Like now we're getting to like the catchy part. We're getting to the meat and potatoes of like, oh, that's where you want to go with it. Chorus again, hum it out. I feel like my writing process is different, but I guess any tips that I can give again is just speak your truth, deliver your message, don't overthink it. It's just a draft. It's not finalized. Rick Rubin is not going to look at it and be like, "Yo, this is garbage." Like, what you like it's just a draft and just it's your art. Just like it's your art. Look over it, get a feel of it, and then that's when you can put your own 2 cents back into it.
I really like that. You said a lot of great things, especially like if you're writing like let's say a lyric down and it's like for the next part, do I think about the pattern and stuff like that? But I
Yeah.
really enjoy how you mentioned just don't overthink it. I think what's it Kenny Beats he has like
Mhm.
this little show on YouTube, The Cave. I think there's like a sign on
Yeah.
there that says don't overthink
Yeah.
shit. So,
Yeah. It's just literally just go in and like sometimes like for me, like I know I can freestyle, but sometimes I'll be in front of the mic on and like in studios and like I blank out because I'm overthinking. But there has been so many instances. Like there's this one time for Unity, they did a performance thing like at the underground bridge. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called the underpass. And we had to like do a freestyle at the end. I did not know this that we were going to do a freestyle. So I literally just had to not overthink and just pick stuff out from what I know, from stuff that has happened or whatever, and it made sense. I don't know, but apparently it was hard. So I'm just like, cool. Right? So that's definitely when it comes to like don't overthink it and just write it down because you don't it's just the first line. Even J. Cole talks about it. It's just like you have this idea, be like, it's not gonna sound good, is that gonna look good? It's like, bro, it's just the first line. Let's see where the story goes. The first line in a book always doesn't end with how it started,
mm-hmm.
right? So that's how we have to just put it down, look at it, and be like, there's something going here, right?
Yeah. I feel you. You know, it's funny that we mentioned genius breakdown because I thought we were going to have to go in that situation. So this idea just literally popped in my head. So for people who do know or don't know, I do actually have like a song that's like for the it's like the theme song for the
Right.
podcast. And I decided to go and check out the lyrics because I was listening to everything you're saying, like, you know, it made me think about the writing process at the time being when I was making this song. And it's like, yeah,
I really thought you were writing bars over there. I'm about to be like, yo, you better share something with the world real quick.
I mean, but it's funny because you mentioned like don't overthink things and just kind of let it flow. So like it made me realize like the very first words that are uttered on that song, I literally say certain things can be explained. That's for sure. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care, man. This is coming from the heart. Which just kind of
Mhm.
shows like, yo, there's no connectivity. There's no level of like, oh, like double entendres or like, oh, he did like a triple or a scheme. I'm like, I literally just said
Yeah.
what was on my chest before I even got into like the chorus. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is coming from me.
As it should. And some people, and sometimes it's easy for people to like not overthink, but also come up with the double entendres and the similes and everything. Like Backslide, one of my song Backslide, I did not overthink that song one bit. And when I finished the track and I look back at what I was saying, I'm like, yo, this flew over my head. That's one of my favorites to perform, even like Pop Out and Above the Bar. Like there's so many of them that like I have not overthought of I've not overthought about, and I just did it, and I was like, yeah, over my head. I did not know I really said this. This is crazy. And that's what happens when you don't overthink it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I actually really appreciate you going to details of all of that. I think it's really great for anyone listening. And even to all my entrepreneurs. I know you're probably thinking, all right, but I'm not a musician. I would consider a verse as like your own pitch. So obviously for entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
you have like 30 seconds, maybe to a minute to make a pitch, right? So you're trying to think about like, oh, like I need to write down my pitch. And that's not a bad thing. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to write down your stuff, that's cool. But I think again, don't overthink stuff because for a lot of
Yeah.
entrepreneurs who are meeting other entrepreneurs or investors, they want to hear you. They want to hear like everything that's coming from the heart. So
Right.
I would say don't overthink your things too much to an extent where
Hmm.
now you're being pressured. Like if I don't say the right words, if I don't say the right things, then I may not get the collaboration or I may not get the connection or the network. It's all
Just be
about
you.
be you. Exactly.
There's so many times I've walked into rooms and they're just like, I really love your energy. I really love your smile. I really love this. And that's not on some boasting thing. It's just like I choose to be me. I can't be anyone else. Because if I'm being
Hmm.
someone else, I'm being inauthentic to myself and I'm doing a disservice to my friends and my family who really knows the real me. So like be you, be true, be Cheerio. I don't know. I don't know if that's just yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, I do have another exercise I want to try. Not exercise, like it's a fun activity. This one's not as stressful, right? Okay, so for this final activity, this one's a more fun one. So I want to test out your music knowledge for a second, all right? So
Oh my god.
what nah this should be fun. This should be fun.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna be doing, and like mind you, this is not an idea that I came up with originally. This is something I've seen on like TikTok, YouTube. I just thought it'd be fun to try
I
it
wish
out.
I saw it.
So I'm going to be listing out different songs, right?
Okay.
And I want you to try to guess the albums based on the songs I'm listening to you.
Oh no. Okay.
So there's four different albums I want to go through. I'm trying to go from like easy to hard. So like
Yeah,
I feel like okay this first one I feel like you should be able to get. Hopefully I don't know.
I better get it, or else I'm not watching this back.
Okay. So okay, this is so I'm gonna list three songs. That's how much I'm gonna list. Only three.
Okay,
And you
okay,
have to guess.
okay.
Okay. And you have three attempts to guess it.
3 attempts. Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
So it's not like three, then it's like once off the bat. No, you have three
They're like, yeah, you
chances.
suck. I'm like, okay,
Okay. So the first song is real. The first song is real.
okay. I
Okay.
feel like I know where I'm going with this.
You want me to keep going? The second one, Compton.
Wait, and these are songs?
Songs. So the first song is real. The second
Okay,
song is Compton.
okay.
All right. Do you want the final one?
Like, I have 3 attempts to guess.
Yeah, 3 attempts to guess.
I have to guess the album.
The album. Like the album, like what's the album? Like who's the artist who sings it? Like, you know, the album and so like
I'm juggling between 2. Is it To Pimp a Butterfly?
you're close. You're close actually. You're
Oh.
close.
Ah.
Do you want me to say the last one?
Yeah.
The last one is Backseat Freestyle.
Oh, that's Good Kid, Mad
Okay, it's Good Kid.
Oh, that was the first one I was gonna go with. Oh my gosh, I should have followed my gut.
Hey.
Don't overthink it, man.
Hey, at least you got it. At least you got it.
As soon as you said Compton, I'm like, okay. No. As soon as you said real, I'm like, cause like I'm real, I'm really, really real. Yeah.
Okay. So you're 1 for 1. That's good.
Okay.
All right, this one's a more like recent album. Like it dropped like a couple years back, so it's not as old as the Good Kid, Mad City, but we're gonna try this one. So the first song is Potential.
Oh my gosh. Okay, give me the next one.
The next one, I'll Kill You.
Why I feel like this is like a this
I'll make
this
it
like
easier. It's not hip hop. It's not a hip hop album.
I'm thinking SZA right now.
You're thinking SZA.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your guess or
no? Is it? No, it's not like. Is it? I'll Kill You. That sounds some toxic stuff, man. Not really toxic, but like she. Just she.
It is a she. It is a female.
She hurt. Yeah, give me the last one.
So the last one is Body.
Oh.
So again, Potential.
Yeah.
I'll Kill You.
Okay.
And Body.
Can I guess the artist?
If you want to guess the artist, this will be your first guess. So
yeah, that's fine. Is it Summer Walker?
It is Summer Walker.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta figure out which album is it from. So
I'm not good with album titles. Oh my gosh, this is gonna bother me. Like I can. Is that okay? Okay, can I have like a? Can I? Is the album cover like pink?
Yeah. It's just a name.
It's just the name that's bothering me. Oh my gosh.
Listen. From everything we said, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
I know. Like I actually can't. Like I can't put a name on the title.
Are you throwing in the towel?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Summer Walker's Over It. That's the name of the album.
Oh my god. All right. Okay.
Because like there's Over It, and that was in 2019, and then obviously the album after that was Still Over It. So I know you were thinking between the.
No, yeah. I was. Oh my god. That I was thinking about because all I'm thinking about is the shades in the car and hanging out.
That was like, Still Over It.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
It's all right. It's all right. Hopefully this next one you're able to bounce back.
Bouncing back.
All right. So the first song is Gangster Shit. Okay. So Gangster Shit. The next one is Spaghetti Junction.
Okay. I'm gonna need that last one.
All right, the last one. I this one should give it away, but I don't know. I'm hoping it gives it away. The last one, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Oh, is that oh my gosh! Like, I'm not gonna overthink it. Is that Outkast?
It is Outkast, but which album?
You. Oh man. See, if you said guess that artist, that would have been so much easier. Oh man, no, you're gonna have to give that one to me still.
Okay, it's Outcast. It's Stankonia.
Oh, oh, these are not coming to me right now.
Because like I know there's obviously tracks like Miss Jackson, So Fresh So Clean. I didn't want to say that. I'm like, okay, like
you went harder. You went to the Stankonia.
because like I know Bombs Over Baghdad's also pretty known within like the overall hip hop community. Like, a couple people do listen to that track, so I was like, okay, let me just throw that one in. I'm like, if I say Miss Jackson, I'm like, okay, he's gonna probably
Miss Jackson would have been like off the rip. But I know some people don't know about Bombs Over Baghdad. But then it could be someone else saying like, oh, I know people don't know about Stankonia. I know about Stankonia. I just forgot about the album.
Okay, so this the last one. It's in terms of like the artist, you're 3 for 3, but it's just like the whole thing, you've only got one.
Album's like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This one, let's.
And just the hard one.
It's supposed to be. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe you won't find this hard. You know. So. Okay.
You're setting me up, bro.
So the first song is Heartburn.
Sounds like Pepto-Bismol. Give me the next clue.
Okay, the second one is When You Really Love Someone.
Give me the third one.
Okay, the last one is Karma.
Okay, I guess it's gonna count as a guess, but like it's not Jhené Aiko.
It's not Jhené Aiko.
Okay. Yeah, you set me up. Set me up. Could have chose any other game, but you set me up. Okay, you said Karma.
I said Karma. Mm-hmm. I said Heartburn. And I said When You Really Love Someone.
When You Really Love Someone.
Do you want to just a small hint?
Yeah, give me a small hint.
This album dropped in the 2000s.
Oh my gosh. Okay, second guess. It's not Ashanti.
It's not Ashanti. But it's one of those artists around that time with Ashanti. I will say that.
One of those artists around that time. This isn't Destiny's Child. I guess that's my theory.
It's not Destiny's Child. It's not.
All right, what is it?
It was Alicia Keys, The Diary of Alicia Keys.
My God. All right, yeah.
Because
I'm like, there's no song I know by Destiny's Child. I'm just like, don't overthink it. Let me just get it out there.
Yeah, because obviously Karma's the second track on there, and obviously like the more notable songs, You Don't Know My Name, If I Ain't Got Your Diary.
Whatever, Sean.
No.
This is crazy.
No,
bro.
listen.
That was a good game, though.
It was good. You did a great job in terms of like guessing, not giving up on the selections. So, like, I know most people would have folded in the towel after they heard like maybe the second song of each album. They were like, nah.
I'm gonna lie. There's times I wanted to, and I'm just like, nah, I don't give up that easily. What's wrong with it?
Nah, but that was great. I'm glad that you found it a little entertaining at the end. But yeah, that's all I have for this episode. Sorry again. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for being patient with me, man. Like we were back and forth since last year's summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 6 months down the road and we're finally here.
I know, but I'm glad that we were able to get this conversation through, man. Where can people follow you on social media? Where can people follow your music?
Yes, social media, all social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's at SREONLY. Streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, Google, SRE, and YouTube, same thing, SREONLY.
Perfect, man. Appreciate you coming on the pod, bro. It's a fun conversation.
Of course, man. Also, new single coming out February, Moonlight. I'm excited for everyone to hear it. It's something that I haven't done before, and I did not think I would ever touch in that genre, but I'm excited for it.
All right. I'm excited to hear it when it drops, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, and to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in to the Safe Room Podcast this week. You can check us out on Instagram and TikTok at the Safe Room Official. You can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're looking to expand onto TikTok and YouTube a little bit more. I mean, we do have a TikTok account, but not that much content, so we're hoping to change that for 2024. But again, you can always follow us. Again, tap into the episodes, give us 5 stars. The more clicks, the more downloads. It allows us to get that awareness. Your boy's trying to get a sponsorship for 2024, so you gotta bless me. You gotta bless me up.
Yes, sir. That's what we're Yes, sir.
I love it. But to everyone listening, hope you guys enjoy your day, your evening, whatever it may be, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir.